So, in lieu of some bad news recently, well, as of yesterday, decided to come out here and just get a video of some of the areas that a friend of mine and I used to utilize. Anyone that's new to my channel, I used to have an old channel utilizing for Green Meanie Productions, an old production company I used to have back around the time I graduated from high school. Oh god, right over here. That mountain there used to be a little bit different. My friend Chris Stark, he just recently passed from a drunk driving accident. This right here is where we filmed the opening scene for one of the short horror movies I made back then called Damp Soil. I might see if I can pull it back up and just upload it to YouTube. I doubt that I can though. It's been a while and I don't know if I still have the DVD. But right here's where we filmed the opening scene where his brother was throwing rocks at him. And he flipped out and I think chased him farther down over there or down into here and killed him in the short film. But also, as anything, if anyone happened to see my old channel, you would know that I also had a series called Ninja Man that I had done with Chris. Part 3 of this area here is the opening for it where I throw a branch yelling, "This is Sparta." God. Yeah, when he yelled, "Keep pissing, boy." Don't think there's much really to say about that. But this area here, coming out, let's see if the tree is still there. You can still hear the lovely buzzing of those fucking power lines. Louder than I remember. But, yeah, it is completely different now. I don't see the tree from Tree Brutality in there. Tree Brutality was a small skit for it. This area used to be fucking loaded up with piles of rocks and dirt. Jesus Christ, that buzzing. You can hear that real good. But, this is where we filmed the very first episode of Ninja Man. As well with 1 or 2 parts being done at the old wooden playground over at Appleby School in Spotswood. My hometown, that's how I knew Chris. But, yeah, they completely... Yeah, I haven't been here in years. But, I think the one night, we all came here with a group of friends and we went down that area to play Manhunt for a little while. If I remember correctly, it was either Chris or Matt that got lost down there that night. I had to go find them. But, yeah, I forget what was originally going on the day that, oh, that's what it was. We were supposed to come out here and start filming for a series that we were going to do for Spotswood Channel 3 about a kid who thought they were a paladin from D&D or any other type of role-playing game. He never showed, so that's why we wound up creating Ninja Man. We decided, you know what, we're out here, let's just film something. Hello, little butterfly. And Ninja Man was a direct result of that. If I remember correctly, down over here was where we lost a lead pipe for about half an hour maybe after I threw it. We had to go back and check the video footage a couple times to find out exactly where it landed. This is also where we were throwing rocks at each other at one point, and I have a tattoo over it now, but there was a mark on my hand from where Matt hit me with a big rock. Then, yeah, back to Ninja Man. Part 2, we did partially in the park, at 2 of the parks in Helmetta. And a little bit inside the East Brunswick Mall. Tremor, I think we got kicked out of there. And, oh yeah, part 2 also had where we got kicked out of, I want to say it was Butterfly Park, I'm probably wrong, in East Brunswick. Because of the sword and the trash can. If I can find a way to get the videos off of Daily Motion, I will upload them back onto YouTube. I'll just replace the music. Essentially, if I were to do that, you wouldn't be able to hear any of the background talk that we had going on, because the music was overlaid over all that. And I don't have access to the original copies. It's been way too long. My original camera doesn't work anymore, and I don't think I have a way of getting a DV video set up to my computer. Good God, this is way overgrown. I think over here was in the original video where I was tossing around the tennis ball that was on fire, and we had heard a couple people on dirt bikes coming through. So at one point there was one spot where Chris knelt down holding 2, I don't remember if it was sticks or 2 lead pipes. He knelt down and he was just kind of looking, and that there was one of the takes that I kept in there. Yeah, I think this was the spot. When I came running out of the woods yelling that my balls were on fire. No, that was up over there, back in the main area. God. But, let's see. Part 3, if I recall, that day, I actually didn't go to college that day. I was supposed to. I had just broken up with my psycho bitch ex. And I did it the smart way, because the last 2 times I had tried to do it previous to that, she tried to strangle me and she tried to stab me. That time I said that I was up at college when I wasn't, so this way she wouldn't come looking for me. And if I remember correctly, he was also having issues with his girlfriend at the time, which is, if you ever heard the audio in the original part 3, you can hear me saying, "Dude, your phone's going off again," just about every 5 seconds. And then I know I said that I wasn't going to do another Ninja Man video after we did the aquatic editions, which were done in Spotswood at one of the rivers. Those, in my opinion, didn't quite come out too well because there wasn't much variety in anything. As a filmmaker, you want to try to get as much variety as you can, but if everyone's doing the same damn thing over and over and over again, there's not much you can really use. I think I'll actually sit down up here. Let's see if we can find a good angle here. Yeah, right here. Oh, good God, these are still just as soft as ever. Yeah. Come over on this side. Whoop. Part 3, because of his height and the angle he had when these were all, when this whole area was filled with these mounds. I was sitting there like, let's get a spot of you jumping across a bunch of them, and then we'll do one of the idiot, me, trying to catch up with you, but I'll fall behind one of the bigger mounds, well, in between two of the bigger mounds, and hopefully it looks like I just fall and disappear. And that part actually did come out good. But what I've been thinking about doing, kind of want to get some of the old group of friends back together, as this has gotten a lot of us talking again. I haven't talked to some of them in probably about 7 to 8 years, but kind of just want to, because I'm having issues getting the videos off of Dailymotion. I don't remember which old email I used for it, and don't remember the passwords. And if it was one of the older emails, it's most likely deactivated, so I can't actually access anything anymore. But I kind of want to get the old group together, because if I can't get those videos, I'll just do a tribute video to them. Sorry, Flowey is yelling at me. Kind of want to get people back together and do one last Ninja Man video, do it as a tribute to him. Because he didn't deserve what happened. In case anyone cares to know, from the way it reads online, in Virginia, there was a car accident. From the way it reads, his brother was driving, and he was drunk, and neither of them were wearing seatbelts. His brother ran off the road and hit a tree. Chris was ejected from the vehicle, and he died on his way to the hospital. From what I understand, his brother was arrested for DUI after being taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries. But, all that aside, Chris and I were actually talking a while back, when he came back last year, I believe. He had just recently had heart valve replacements done, and we were actually talking, if I ever went out to Virginia, creating a sequel to Ninja Man called Fuck Off Fly. It's not called Fuck Off Fly. We were going to call it Redneck Man, because if I remember correctly, he had just also, since going out there, he had gotten his gun license and everything. So we would have had the means to do something along those lines. But now that's something that's never going to happen. We had some good times fucking around over here. I think other parts of Damp Soil were filmed over here. Were also filmed in the woods in Helmetta for Damp Soil. We actually used his street and house for parts of Damp Soil, and I think it was Boogie Woogie Woo that I did for a a short film for I think it was Creature TV or something. One of those channels that did nothing but horror movies. But that movie, when I got to editing, I didn't realize how much cursing people had done. So it officially got renamed to Bleep the Movie and was never handed in. Damp Soil, though, that was handed in, if I remember correctly. I didn't win anything on that, but we had a lot of good times. The name of the tree I think that they were jumping off of in the aquatic editions, they had named Talagunda or something like that. But yeah, I've been spending time with some old friends, Joe being one in particular. He was a giant wreck last night. I think it was a good thing that I did come out and see him. I'd spent time with a couple other friends that last night. I spent time with a couple other friends that knew him. We had all filmed together, so we all knew each other fairly well. Some people had falling outs and whatnot, but I think at this point we're all just putting all this shit aside. Joe had a major falling out with Chris, and I didn't expect him to take it as hard as he did. God. But yeah. Rest easy, brother. We had some good times. Hold a fucking beer for me. Yeah. I feel sorry for his family, his wife, his friends out in Virginia. See, as much as he may have been an asshole at times, he stood by his friends. He helped people out when they needed it. I don't think I ever really had an actual argument or fight with him. I could be wrong though. We may have once or twice. He and I didn't always see eye to eye on things, but he was a good guy. Alright. Well, let me... No. Let me disconnect this from the phone. Yes, I know. Connection was lost. It's funny that buzzing's gotten louder. It's back when we were first out here and shit. Couldn't really hear them that well. But now you can.